So I welcome you to this presentation where I will be discussing with you the step-by-step to relocate through the Canada Express Entry. So maybe you have been hearing about Express Entry. You hear that people do relocate through Express Entry and become permanent residents directly. I will be breaking down the step-by-step involved on how to go about this and how you can leverage maybe an agent, or you can leverage a DIY package that you can use to go about the process. So without further delay, let's begin. So before I begin, I would like you to subscribe to my channel. Click that subscribe button to subscribe, and also make sure that you like this video, okay? So now, the first step when it comes to relocating through Express Entry is to find out your work NOC. NOC means National Occupational Classification. So now, this means you have to know the category of occupation that you belong. So now, Canadian Embassy, they have different categories that you will always belong, no matter what you do. So this will be based on your education qualification, your job title, your work experience, among others. So let me quickly show you how this looks like. So this is where you need to find out the NOC that you belong, the category that you belong. Don't worry, I will drop the link to this in the description of this video below, so that you can go and find out the category that you belong. Can you see? So now, these are the code. These are the abbreviation nomenclature that they use to represent different category of profession that you might belong. So now, tier 0, for instance, they say management occupations. Example, advertising, marketing, public relations office managers, and so on. So now you have to find out where you belong first. Okay, so if you are a dentist, you will be in tier 3. If you are into tech, you see computer network, web technician, you will be in tier 2. So depending on your qualification as well, see college diploma, supervisory occupations, and so on and so on. So you have to find out. You have to find out where you belong first. You have to write it out. Can you see? So we have NOC code. So let's say you are in tier 0. You are in tier 0. You have to know under which class title that you fall in, which NOC code that will be attached to your, that will be related to your profession. Okay, so this is very important. You have to find out which of the NOC you belong. Okay, which of the NOC that you belong. So now, after you have found out the NOC that you belong, after you have found out which NOC you belong, which job category you belong, then you register for language test. You cannot escape this. You cannot escape this. If you are to become a permanent resident in Canada, you have to write the IELTS general. You have to write it. So many people are scared of IELTS. So many people are like, this IELTS is do or die. The reason people normally fail this test, because I know people that have written this test more than 4 times, 5 times, and they still fail. I noticed that most people lack proper guidance. They lack coaching. They lack mentorship. They want to do everything on their own. They want to use Google. They want to use YouTube to write IELTS. That is why they are failing. So now, if you want to pass this test at a go, at once, I recommend a coaching program that will save you stress, save you money, save you energy, so that you will be able to pass this IELTS at once. Okay, so I will drop the link to this coaching program in the description of this video below. So check below this video in the description the link to this coaching program to pass IELTS. Okay, so after you have registered for IELTS and you are preparing, you are reading in order for you to pass, the next step that you should be looking at will be to prepare your document for evaluation. Okay, so this is for you if you study outside Canada, if your certificates, educational certificates are issued outside Canada. Maybe you are from Nigeria, you are from Ghana, you are from any country outside Canada. You will have to do evaluation of your certificate so that it can be correlated to the Canadian standard, to their own standard. So now, these are organizations certified to do this evaluation. We have International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, we have World Education Services, and the rest. Okay, so the most popular one is this World Education Services. This is the one that most people use. So now, do your evaluation, get your certificate, upload, and they will give you the equivalent of your qualification outside Canada. Maybe you have HND, maybe you have BSc, maybe you have OND. They will give you equivalent qualification equivalent in Canadian classification. Okay, that is the purpose of this evaluation. Okay, so after you have done that, before I proceed, I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to this channel. If you have not done that, kindly go ahead and click that subscribe button right now, and also click the like button and turn on your notification button so that you will be the first person to see whatever video of value like this that I upload in the future. Okay, so now after you have prepared your evaluation, the next step is to now go ahead and create your online express entry profile. Okay, that means you now have your IELTS test ready. You've done your WES, you've done your evaluation, they are ready, right? Then you now go online to create express entry profile. Okay, so now this is where you will submit your work history, your work experience, your personal information, your IELTS test results, among others. So now, this information that you submit is what the CRS system, comprehensive ranking system of express entry, will now use to calculate your points. You will score points based on your age, based on your education, based on your IELTS result. You will score points. You'll be given points. You'll be scoring score. Somebody that scores 6 in IELTS will score lower than somebody that scores 8. If your age is 25, you will score higher points than somebody that is age of 40. If you have work experience of 3 years, you will score lower points compared to somebody that has 10 years work experience. So all this information will be used together to calculate your score. Okay, take notes. So now you will score a point at the end of the day. Okay, by the way, the total score that you can score in express entry is 1,200. So now, take note of this. When you create your express entry profile, you have 60 days to complete all the information that you are submitting. Everything that you are submitting, you have 60 days to complete it. Okay, so now you submit all this information and you wait for invitation. That is step 5 now. So now, there used to be draw, whereby every 2 weeks, the system we search candidates, we search around, and a cutoff score will come out. So if based on all the information that you submitted during your during the time you are creating your profile, if the point that you score at that point is above that cutoff score, or it is equal to the cutoff score that the system come up with at the end of the day, then you will be invited to apply for permanent residence, okay, which is a step 6. You'll be invited to apply for permanent residence. So now, this draw normally take place every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So now, while you are waiting, maybe you've not gotten invitation and all of that, you can be doing other stuff in order to improve your points in the pool. Okay, when I say pool, I mean in your profile. After creating your express entry profile, it means you have joined the pool. You have joined express entry pool. We are inside the pool with other candidates. So now, while you are waiting, you can be doing other stuff. Maybe your IELTS score is not enough. You can rewrite it to score more points so that you can improve your points. You can have enough points. You can add other scores. Or you can look for a Canadian job offer that also can add points to your CRS score. Okay, so now, after you have created your profile and waiting, if you are eventually invited, then you'll be asked, they call it ITA, invitation to apply for permanent residency. Okay, invitation to apply for permanent residency. So now, let me point out this. Your profile expires after 12 months. So if you created a profile, you created an online profile, and you didn't get invitation, while in the pool, that profile that you create expires after 12 months. After 12 months, you will have to create another profile. Okay, so now, like I said, so if you get an invitation, they call it ITA, you'll be required to apply for Canadian permanent residence. Okay, and you have 60 days to complete this application after they have invited you. So you will be invited to submit your documents, submit other documents. They want to screen you and all of that. So you need to pay application fee, you need to submit your IELTS results, you need to do academic verification report, you need to submit police certificates, you need to your proof of fund, and other supporting documents. So if you are married, if you are divorced, if you have children, they will request for your birth certificate of your children, divorce certificate. If your husband is dead, maybe they will need the death certificate of your husband or your spouse and the rest. So you need to provide all of these documents, okay? That is why you need professional guidance on all of this. Don't worry, at the end of this presentation, I will show you how to go about all of this process. So now, you will need all of these documents to proceed to apply for Canadian permanent residence, and you have 60 days to do this. So now, if you are enjoying this video, if you are gaining 1 or 2 value, if I've been giving you value so far, please go ahead and subscribe now. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this video and also like this video. Click that like icon right now and also subscribe to this channel. So now, after you have submitted all these documents, you have applied as they ask you to do, you will receive an email. If everything is okay and it's all right from everything that you submitted there, you'll be required to go for biometric at your local embassy or VFX. So now, VFX is just that service provider that represent Canada in your country. In Nigeria especially, they are required to do your biometric for you and other immigration related services to offer these services on behalf of Canada in your country. So you will receive an email, or you will receive in your profile, you will see a space where you are requested for biometric. So you go for biometric, and after biometric, you wait for approval. So you keep on logging into your profile portal, you keep on logging in to check for approval, check for approval. Okay, so this normally take place within 6 months. So expect this approval to take place within 6 months. So keep on checking your profile, keep on checking your express entry profile to know the status of your application for permanent residency. Okay, so now once your application is approved, then you will receive what is called passport request email. They will ask you to send in your passport and all of that. Okay, this is like a congratulatory message, like they welcome you, that they congratulate you that at last you are now on your way to become a permanent resident. You are now a permanent resident of Canada. So now your permanent resident, it comes within usually 6 months to 1 year. So now when they send you this passport request, you have to enter Canada. You have to show up in Canada within, I think, around 6 months to 1 year. Okay, they've approved your application now. They've given you permanent residency status. You have to show up in Canada within the period of 6 months to 1 year, most times. Okay, so there's a deadline to that as well. So take note. By the way, you are already approved. You've already met all the requirements. So what are you still waiting for? Is to go and report in Canada, to go and start your life in Canada. So I don't think there should be any issue with this. So now this is a step-by-step to go about express entry. So now I will point out that this is the summary. Let me say this is the summary of everything that I just explained. Submit your profile to enter express entry pool. Create a profile. To create your profile, you need IELTS, you need the words and the likes. Then submit your information and you score points based on every information that you submit. So the point now is this express entry is points-based. You earn points. You score points. So the higher this point you score, the higher your chances of getting invitation to apply for permanent residence. Okay? To get to this particular stage, the higher your points, the higher your chances. So to score more points, you need more work experience. You have to be of a less age. Okay, if you have higher age, your work experience points can compensate. Okay, can cover up for that your higher age. So you can be of age of 35 or 38. If you have like 10 to 15 years of work experience, it's a plus. It will do cover up. Okay, so after that, if you meet the required points during the draw that normally take place every 2 weeks, then you get invitation to apply for permanent residence. That is if you meet the required points, minimum points. Okay, and after that, you'll be required to complete your application within 60 days. Within 60 days. And once your application is approved, then you get your passport request email congratulating you of your new status of permanent residence. Okay, I hope you understand all the step-by-step that I just break down about how express entry works. So now you might be asking, how much will this express entry cost me? How much will I need? Don't worry, I will drop the link to a video where I break down how much we need to relocate to express entry. And also you can be asking, okay, you've told me all of this now. How can I go about it? How can I go about it? Okay, you have two options. You have two options. First option is to get an agent, get a professional. This can be expensive. They will charge you nothing less than 1 million naira. If you are in Nigeria, they will charge nothing less than 1 million naira. Some charge 1.5 million naira. This can be expensive. But if you can't afford this, if you can't afford these agents, these professionals, you can go with a do-it-yourself package, a DIY guide, do-it-yourself guide, whereby you will be the one to handle your processing by yourself, and every information and guidance that you need will be provided for you. Okay? There is a DIY guide that I will recommend. It is called Express Entry Masterclass. I will drop the link to this masterclass in the description of this video below. So check somewhere around the description below this video. I will drop the link to this DIY guide that you can easily use. Okay? All what agents will do for you is to help you get your NOC, and submit your profile, fill a form for you, write your information for you, submit form on your behalf. That's all. So if you have time, you can do all of this by yourself with proper information inside this DIY guide. So what I normally recommend is the DIY guide, and I will drop the link to this DIY guide in the description of this video below. Okay? So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. If you have gained one or two values so far, if I have explained one or two things to you and you understand me, then go ahead and subscribe right now. At least I think I've added one or two values so far. So if you want to connect with me on WhatsApp as well, you want to know more about, you have one or two questions, you can drop your question in the comments in the description of this video, or you can chat me up on WhatsApp. I will drop a link to do that as well. So thank you for staying to this moment. If you have not subscribed, go and subscribe right now. Thank you for staying to this moment. See you in my next video.